Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode in our personal development series. And today, I'm going to share 3 secrets I've learned through my virtual coaching practice. Hi, I'm Richard Fontenay, and I have been a coach, consultant, and facilitator for over 50 years. And for the past 5 years, I've transitioned my coaching practice to online coaching. And today, I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned over those years. Now, here are 3 secrets we'll uncover today. Secret number 1, there are differences between face-to-face coaching and virtual coaching. Number 2, we need different knowledge and skills for virtual coaching. And secret number 3, there are challenges if you want to get into virtual coaching. But I've learned to overcome many of them, and I'll share some of them with you. So let's get started. Secret number 1, the difference between face-to-face coaching and virtual coaching. Now, coaching is a deeply relational experience. And for many years, it was almost exclusively conducted in person. The direct human connection, the subtle body language cues, and the ability to share physical space are all things that make face-to-face coaching powerful. But when we coach virtually, the dynamic shifts a bit. So, what are the key differences between face-to-face and virtual coaching? Well, first, let's discuss communication dynamics. Coaches can rely on physical presence in face-to-face settings to communicate empathy, trust, and engagement. A simple nod, a smile, or a gesture can speak volumes without saying a word. Now, in the virtual world, these nonverbal cues become less prominent. While video calls help, they still limit our ability to fully grasp a client's energy and his full body language. Next is building rapport and trust. When you're in the same room as your client, you can use your environment to help foster a sense of comfort and safety. In virtual coaching, it's more challenging to create that warmth through a screen. It requires more intentional effort to establish the rapport. And often we can do it through vocal tone, eye contact, with the camera, and being mindful of your digital environment. Another thing to consider is flexibility and accessibility. Virtual coaching offers a massive advantage in this area. No longer bound by geography, you can work with clients from all over the world. And this opens up new opportunities for diversity in your client base and greater convenience for both ourselves as a coach and the client. It makes coaching more accessible to individuals who can't travel and cannot attend in-person sessions. There's also one other thing that we need to consider: the impact of technology. Now, technology is the backbone of virtual coaching, but it also introduces new layers of complexity. Technical issues such as poor internet connections, software glitches, or camera malfunctions can interrupt the flow of a session and distract from the client's experience. It can also be harder to gauge a client's mood or emotional state through a screen. So in this case, you might miss subtle nonverbal cues that could be apparent that when we have a session, an in-person session. You also need to resolve cybersecurity issues. Now, I've included a free article on cybersecurity issues for coaches in the description below. This is a full-length article, outlines 5 critical issues and their solutions for cybersecurity and coaching. The article is over 3,000 words and covers topics related to data privacy, confidentiality, secure file sharing and storage, phishing attacks, social engineering, and much, much more. You can find that article in the description below. So to sum up this section, virtual coaching offers tremendous flexibility and accessibility. It requires a shift in our approach to communication, rapport building, and navigating technological challenges. Now, let's move on to the different knowledge and skills that are required for virtual coaching. Now, there's several things that I've learned to incorporate into my practice that I would like to share with you. The first thing that comes to mind is technical proficiency. Now, in virtual coaching, our digital tools become our primary means of communication. So it's essential to be well versed in using video conferencing platforms like Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google Meet. This includes knowing how to manage settings like breakout rooms, screen sharing, and recording sessions. Now, these can be used if it's necessary, but very often on a one-to-one basis, they're not necessary. Being able to troubleshoot basic technical issues quickly can also go a long way in keeping our coaching sessions smooth and professional. Next, you'll need to develop digital communication skills. And while traditional communication techniques remain important, it's crucial to enhance our verbal clarity and tone in virtual settings. We need to be aware that some body language cues might be missed. For instance, we can't see people's feet, and sometimes in some cultures, pointing feet has a different significance than in our culture. So our voice needs to be more intentional. And how you modulate it, the pauses that you take, the warmth you convey are all amplified in the virtual environment. So learning how to read the room online is another vital skill. You may need to rely more on facial expressions and eye contact through the camera to assess how your client is feeling. However, you may also observe the client's environment, which may give you clues about his or her self-management skills. For instance, if things are consistently scattered all over the person's desk, you may want to tuck that away to discuss management skills or time management skills at a later session. But this also gets to another point, and that's our own time management skills. Virtual coaching often comes with greater flexibility, but it also can lead to shorter or more frequent sessions. Now, as a coach, it's important to structure the time efficiently, ensuring that the sessions remains focused and productive and respectful of both your time and the client's time. Now, this includes setting clear objectives at the start of each session, sticking to a timeline, and allowing time for reflection and wrap-up. Now, one of the most underrated yet essential skills in virtual coaching is creating a presence online. This goes beyond a technical setup. It's about how you use your voice, how comfortable you appear on camera, and how you make your clients feel as if you were fully present with them, even if you're physically apart. Now, it takes practice to appear warm and engaging and genuine on a screen, but it's key to building a successful virtual coaching practice. And finally, don't forget about setting boundaries and expectations. In a virtual world where lines between personal and professional life can blur, it's essential to establish clear guidelines about communication outside of sessions. So, respecting both your own and your client boundaries. Now, this might involve discussing how to handle emails or texts or telephone calls between sessions. And what happens if technology fails, or the best ways to follow up on action items. Now let's move to secret number 3, the challenges that I faced and some of the ways that I found that I can work through them. You know, virtual coaching comes with its own unique set of challenges. But the good news is that with the right strategies, each challenge can become an opportunity for growth. So let's dive into some of what are the things that I'm talking about here, some of those obstacles and some of their solutions. Challenge number 1 that I found is the disconnection due to lack of physical presence. Now, one of the biggest hurdles in virtual coaching is the feeling of distance, both literal and emotional. Without the physical presence of a coach in the same room, some clients may feel less connected or engaged. And here's what I found that can resolve this challenge. Focus on creating an intentional presence through the screen. This means maintaining good eye contact by looking into the camera rather than into the screen. Using your tone of voice to express empathy. And keeping your body language open and approachable. So rather than sort of doing this, then what you really need to do is open up so that people can see you. Check as well with your client to ensure that they feel that they are being heard. Simple gestures like asking how they're feeling about the virtual setup can go a long way to bridging the gap between the digital divide. Challenge number 2, technical issues that interrupt the flow of the session. Technical problems are an inevitable part of working in a digital environment, whether it's lagging video, dropped connection, or poor sound quality. Now, here's a solution. Always have a backup plan. Now, do I have a specific backup plan for every event? Not really, but I do have a general one that I refer to. So, how do I go about doing that? Well, before the session starts, I need to ensure that both the client and myself are familiar with troubleshooting basics, like connecting to the session or switching to a phone call if the video call fails. I've used this specific response on more than one virtual session, and it really worked well. You can also schedule an extra few minutes at the beginning of the session to ensure everything is working smoothly. Preparing an alternate way to communicate, such as email or a text or a telephone call, can prevent technical issues from derailing the conversation. Challenge number 3, creating intimacy and empathy in the remote setting. Now, this is a big one. So coaching is built on trust, rapport, and empathy. And creating qualities in a virtual space can be challenging when you're not physically present with the client. So in order to build intimacy virtually, I think we need to pay extra attention to active listening. Focus on your client's voice and words and any emotional overtones in what they're saying. Make space for pauses and silence, which can encourage clients to open up. Use storytelling and share personal examples where appropriate to foster deeper connections. And remember, empathy can be expressed in many ways. Through your tone, the way you frame your responses, and the emotional support that you offer. Here's another challenge: balancing work-life dynamics in virtual settings. Now, another challenge of virtual coaching is that many coaches and clients are working from home. And that can lead to a lot of distractions and a blurred line between professional and personal time. So what do we do about that? Well, setting clear boundaries is key. Discuss up front how you manage potential distractions, such as agreeing on no interruption policy during sessions. Set clear start and end times for sessions. This helps maintain professionalism and ensures that both you and your client are fully present during the time together. And for your well-being, designate a dedicated workspace and avoid working outside of your coaching hours so that you can maintain a healthy balance. Now, sometimes this is hard to do because everything is around you, and it's easy to sort of go from the couch to your desk, so to speak. So, for instance, my spouse has put a sign on the door: when the door is closed, hubby is working, and do not disturb. This normally helps and has proved invaluable throughout my virtual coaching practice. She also sends me notes about quitting time, which I appreciate because I can get carried away on my work. Now, each of these challenges can be seen as an opportunity to become a more skilled and adaptable coach. By anticipating potential roadblocks and preparing in advance, you can create a seamless, an engaging, and an effective virtual coaching experience for your clients. Now let's look at a couple of real-life examples of how I successfully made the transition from face-to-face coaching to virtual coaching. Now, I've been an executive coach working in person with clients for several years. When I moved my office from downtown to my home, I shifted my entire practice to online coaching. At first, I struggled with the lack of in-person energy and worried about building rapport through the screen. But over time, I found new ways to connect. I began using storytelling more often, which helped create a sense of closeness and engagement with my clients. I now have clients across Canada and internationally, and I find that I'm able to maintain just as strong a connection online as I did in person. Here's another example drawn from my coaching experience. For most of my practice as a business startup coach, I relied on local clients for most of the time. Now, once I switched to virtual coaching, I started working with entrepreneurs from all over the world. And this shift opened up my eyes to possibility of niche coaching in different cultures and regions. By using online tools for visions and values and goal setting and accountability, I found my clients thriving in the virtual environment, reporting faster progress than they had previously when I did in-person coaching. So these two stories, although just very brief examples, illustrate that while transitions to virtual coaching can feel rather daunting or overwhelming, with the right mindset and the right strategies, it can offer new opportunities for growth and for impact. Now, before I wrap up today's episode, let's ponder what we can do about the 3 secrets in our coaching practice. The first secret was related to virtual coaching and the differences. Now, virtual coaching offers a tremendous flexibility and accessibility, but it also requires a shift in our approach in communication, rapport building, and navigating the technological glitches. Now, is there anything there that can improve our coaching process? In relation to secret number 2, if we want to take our virtual coaching practice to the next level, do we need to assess our own skills and digital setup? Are we equipped with the right tools? And how comfortable are we with reading clients online? Do we need to take some time this week to reflect where we can enhance our virtual coaching experience? And in relationship to secret number 3, what challenges do we face, and what is our approach to resolving them? Are there ways we can improve engagement with our clients? I mean, how do we plan for technical issues, and how do we improve our listening strategies and storytelling? And finally, are we balancing our lives to the best of our ability? Now, virtual coaching is not just a necessity in today's world. It's an opportunity to expand our reach, diversify our practice, develop new ways to support our clients' growth. So with the right tools and the right mindset, it's possible to offer meaningful, transformative coaching experiences for our clients, no matter what the distance may be. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this channel so you won't miss an update or an episode. Also, think about sharing it with your fellow coaches who might benefit from the insights that I've been able to provide. And thank you for doing so. Now, I love to hear from you, what challenges you have faced in your virtual coaching. So reach out to me on our social media platforms or make a comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. Oh, and don't forget to check out the resources I have for you in the description below. So until next Wednesday, keep embracing authenticity, and remember your virtual coaching presence can be just as powerful as a face-to-face coaching when done with intention and the right strategies. Bye for now. Talk to you next week.